I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful. I am bountiful. I am bliss. I am.
Is this God? Definitely a spiritual soul, but not God. Hey Charlie, are you God? No? I didn't think so. Are you God? Nope. Am I God? Are you God? Is any inanimate object God? Is any animal God? No. Who is God? Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin. I inspire those who aspire to make positive changes in their lives. And in this video, we're going to discuss our relationship with God, and to some extent, who is God, and how we can strengthen our relationship to God now and in every now moment. And it's not exactly what you think, so stay tuned. God is a frequency. The answer to that question is not as complicated as we've been led to believe. God is not everything. God is a spiritual soul, just as we are. However, God is the supreme soul, right? God is our constant companion, our light, and in the darkness. Contrary to what we've been led to believe, God doesn't make us who we are. God doesn't make us suffer to learn a lesson. God doesn't create evil, or God doesn't create your happiness. You do, right? Well, what does God do? God is that supreme source. Just pure love, pure light. No judgment. God's never been a physical being like we are, right? It's the supreme soul. So, God doesn't know judgment. God doesn't know ego. God doesn't know suffering. God doesn't know pain. And certainly God doesn't inflict it and expect you to bow down to Him. And God's not a he or she. God is a non-physical, spiritual soul, right? And that's who, in essence, we truly are. We are eternal spiritual souls, right? We're not this body. We are in this body. We are the divine light behind our eyes. And as such, we have a divine connection to God. However, being in this physical and the experiences that we have that were created by another physical being, by the way, whether it was us or anybody else, it really doesn't matter. We're still not this physical body, this physical being, but we're in this world, right? We're in this physical, so we're experiencing all these things that were created by another soul in a physical body. But God was never a physical body, so God doesn't know any of this. God is a frequency, right? God is vibration. God is light. God is love. God is not everything, but is tied to everything, right? God is not nature. Nature is physical. God is not the universe. The universe is physical. God is the eternal light. And why is it so important to have a relationship with this divine light? Because of the relationships we have with the physical. right? We're so caught up in this world of illusion, where we're told what we can and can't do, where, things are happening that, make us ponder what is the meaning of life. Well, we're eternal souls, so life and death is irrelevant, but in this physical, it's very relevant. It's been taught to us since birth, and it's been a lot of fear has been created around that, right? And now that's keeping us in low vibration, and that's keeping us from that divine light, and from the divine light that we truly are, right? We don't recognize that. It's been taken away from us. I'm not blaming anybody. It just is what it is, right? So we're choosing to have these experiences. But we can make this so much easier on ourselves, right? Being in this physical, once we really tune in to our own frequency, our own vibrations as eternal spiritual souls, and realize that we are eternal spiritual souls, and we can choose to experience these things or not to. It's a choice. But the more that we strengthen our relationship to God, the easier it will be, because God is none of those things. God is absolute pure love. And the more that we connect to that pure divine light and love, the more that we take ourselves out of this, right? Out of this illusion, out of this movie that we're watching, because we are the light behind our eyes, watching this movie, right, unfold and play out. And yes, we are connecting with other souls, but they're also in this physical, and they're also observing this movie through their own eyes, and they see it differently than we do, right? So although we have that eternal spiritual soul connection, there's still a block there, right? We can't see past that. But the more we take ourselves out of it and realize who we really are and who that other soul really is, then we can connect on deeper levels. And that's what spirituality is. And that's how you create a nice symbiotic relationship with God, right? Because the truth is, it's only our souls and God's souls and God's soul, right? So there ever only is two, me and God. Although me is you and you are me, right? But we're just one. So when you feel like you think you have a great connection to God, you have to ask yourself, are you being thankful in every now moment? Or are you letting things bring you down? Are you being judgmental? Are you angry? Are you sad? Are you blaming somebody else for everything that's happening to you in your now moment? If that's the case, and then you're trying to blame a God, for putting you here and creating this, then you don't have any relationship to God, because it wasn't God. And I know this is going to be a difficult subject for many people, and I'm okay with that. This is my truth, and it is a truth for many people. And I've been working on strengthening my relationship to God recently. I thought I had a strong relationship to God, but there's such a thing as spiritual ego. So as much as I thought I was connected to God every day, I was letting a lot of other things block me from that, right? And I was forgetting about God. And although I've come to believe that I've strengthened my relationship with God, right? Because I don't blame God for anything. I know that these choices are mine to make, and I'm making the right choices. Or, again, it's not good or bad choice, but it's just a choice. But I'm cognizant of those choices. But I've also, in the process, realized that I was spiritually judging other souls for some of their choices in spirituality. And I'm talking one-on-one souls. I thought I was connecting with these souls on a deeper level. But if I'm not remembering God in that, and I'm looking to give people advice, even though they don't need the advice, that's spiritual ego. That's certainly not a relationship with your soul or with God, right? Because we're one. So a lot of people believe they have a connection to God because they read the Bible and they go to church and they're religious. The truth is, God is not religion. a physical soul wrote the Bible? Did that physical soul have such a strong connection to God and a relationship with God that it came through them? That's 100% possible. 100%. But we don't know that for sure, right? We can only know our relationship to God. And a lot of us aren't, or a lot of us don't have a strong relationship to God, even though we think we do, right? Because when we put ourselves in situations, right, and it's us that's putting ourselves there, it's nobody else, label it good or bad. Now, the frequency you're sending to this being, to this supreme being called God, is one of lack, one of, woe is me. God doesn't understand that. That's a physical thing. So begging God doesn't get you anything. In fact, God doesn't understand that. So, God's going to reply with love, right? And that's it. But if you're not open to receiving that love because you're so caught up in this physical thing and what somebody else did to you, then you can't possibly know God. You can't. So it's about being cognizant of it, right? And starting to repattern your thought process on who you really are, right? Remembering that you're an eternal spiritual soul, right? And nothing here can hurt you because you don't die, right? This physical body dies, but okay, that's cool. It's about reconnecting with your soul first, right? Finding yourself and loving your eternal light and shining that, right? That's how you shine your light, by loving your light, by integrating your life, by embodying the light, embodying peace, embodying joy, embodying happiness, regardless of what this physical manifestation is in front of you, right? Just look at it as an experience, be the observer. Choose not to allow that to determine who you are going forward. Make the choice to go forward in love and light, right? Work through those feelings of anger and fear and pain and worry and all those things that keep you in negative low vibration and keep you in this movie that we're in. Now you're the participant instead of being the observer, instead of watching it and then leaving the movie theater when it's done. That's what we need to do. Remember that we're eternal spiritual souls, right? And we're experiencing these things and we're experiencing them with other physical souls, but we can leave the movie theater anytime we want. And the more you leave the movie theater and the less you go to the movies, the more love you find, peace and happiness and joy in your every experience, right? Now, start remembering to connect to God every time as well. And just being thankful and receiving the ocean of love that is God. Because God is nothing else. God is pure love. And the more you receive it, the more you're opening yourself to receive more of that from this physical and from the other souls that are having these experiences with you. So, strengthen your relationship to God by strengthening the relationship with your eternal spiritual soul that you are. And your life in the physical will change dramatically. And things like fear and worry and doubt and panic and blame, all of those things go away. Judgment goes away. So you don't need to. You don't need to experience them. So choose to experience love. Choose to experience the experiences on your terms, and as a spiritual being, not as a physical being, because that's not who we are, right? Find yourself. Find your peace. Find your bliss. And you'll find God. And stay connected to God in that frequency. And it'll emanate from you like it's supposed to onto other souls so that they can find themselves, their eternal spiritual beings, and then they can find God in their way, their own unique way, because we're still here having individual experiences. So I'm going to experience God, or whatever you choose to call the eternal spiritual supreme soul, Buddha, Jesus, whatever resonates for you, right? Words are words. But they can carry the meaning that you want them to have. And it doesn't matter how you refer to the source, the God. That's yours, right? Honor it and honor yourself. Start seeking God, right? Start seeking that love and that light. Find it within yourself, and you'll give it to others freely, easily, and willingly. And you'll be an embodiment of peace always. Start today, my friends. Have an amazing day, beautiful souls. And if you like the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends and family. You know, most of them won't understand it or agree with it, and that's cool. That's cool. But I want to share with you too that one of the resources that I used to get me to this point, although I thought I was at this point, is a book by Michael McIntosh and Ariel Hecht, and it's called How to Know God. And it is available on Amazon, but you can also find it on their Spiritual Recharge podcast webpage. Just go to the tabs up top and click on books. It's free. It's an easy, fast read, but it can change your life. It'll change your relationship to God, right? So I hope you do that, and if you do, leave me a comment, right? And if you're so inclined, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I appreciate you so much. I'm grateful, beautiful soul. You are an eternal light. Shine your light every day, and the rest, the darkness goes away. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me.